Okay, start.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar series brought to you by the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Massa University in collaboration with IET Student Association. My name is Aladdin Abu Bakr and I'm from Electrical Engineering, Massa University. I'll be served as your webinar moderator for today's session. All right. Together with us is Professor Raji Swahari Ringarajan. She has more than 12 years of teaching experience and more than 5 years of research experience. She has been handling core courses in the field of biomedical engineering throughout her tenure as professor for undergraduate studies. Her field of expertise is including microbiology and pathology, ultrasound imaging, pathological imaging, radiological equipment, and medical device quality regulation. More interesting, she has been identified as one of the India's top innovators by IIT Delhi, India, in the year of 2015. In the year 2021, Tehran University of Malaysia has awarded her as the best mentor for design thinking course. She also trained students of Bachelor of Science in radiology of Siri Ramakrishnan Allied Medical Science College. Uh, uh, Coin, uh, sorry,
It's
sorry,
Coimbatore.
computer in the field
Yeah.
of imaging acquisition during 2017 and 2018. Okay, sorry. So without further ado, please welcome Professor Rajesh Wahari Rengarajan to share her knowledge on the regulatory affairs in medical device industry. Please, Prof.
Thank you, Mr. Aladdin. Very nice introduction you have given me. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Rajeshwari Rangarajan from KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, working as an assistant professor senior grade in KPR IT in the Department of Biomedical Engineering. It is an immense pleasure for me to meet you and we all in this morning. Hope the weather is fine there, and I'm also fine here. I thank the management for KPR IET, Masha University, head of the department, society, professional societies, and Dr. Kasirajan sir for giving me this opportunity. Hope I'm clear, Mr. Aladdin.
Yes, yes, that was clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So without further delay, I will start the most hot topic of today, which is regulatory affairs in medical device industry. Okay, you can always connect me or you can see my publications in the Google Scholar and LinkedIn ID, which I have given here. Okay. So before going into it, we have to know about what is a regulatory affairs. So you please get familiarized with the regulatory affairs. Though the topic is regulatory affairs, we have to see about what is the FDA is telling and what is the most important ISO regulation or standard we should follow in order to get into the regulatory affairs field. So with no doubt, it is just a job of a professor or a professional developed from the desire of the government to protect the public health. So public health doesn't mean only medical field. You can also see what are the field that the regulatory affairs professional work in order to protect the public field. You can see here it is agrochemicals, medical devices, pesticides, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and agrochemicals in the field of agrochemicals in the field of fertilizers and in the planting and even in the feeds, right? So by we need to control the safety and the efficacy of the products. It is in our hand. So regulatory affairs do have a major role of controlling the safety and the efficacy of the product that is being given to the public, right? It is called ethics in engineering. Okay, ethics in practice. So before going, what I'm going to tell here today is about the medical devices. So medical devices, you know, the category of the medical devices comes under classes: class A, class B, class C, and class D. Sometimes in UN or EN ISO formats, you can see like class 1, class 2, class 3, and class 4, but the level of the risk it is same. Okay, so we will see what is a class A and the risk level and some examples of it. So class A is a low risk surgical example. It is surgical interrupters and tongue depressors, what we use it in the medical field. And next is class B is a low moderate, sorry, it is a low moderate risk devices which we use it in the hospital. Next is C and D, which are moderate high risk, and next is a high risk. So what is a moderate high risk? So moderate high risk and high risk devices are mostly coming under the category of life saving devices, while the class A and class B or class 1 and class 2 devices comes under simple treating devices, right? So moderate high risk and high risk devices, you can see the examples like lung ventilators, heart valves are examples of this. So heart valves again, where we will replace the existing natural system with an artificial system. The artificial system can be a natural valve, or it can be a man-made wall or a synthetic wall, whatever it may be, but still we are replacing in order to avoid the risk of death. Then this moderate high risk, which is the lung ventilator, as one example I've just given. So lung ventilators, as soon as the patient is coming or rushing into the hospital, then we will definitely give some lung ventilation, or if he is having some breathing problem, okay, it is a life saving device then. Okay, so all these class A, class B, class C, and class D devices only we will just classify the medical devices. Apart from this, we don't have any classification. Whatever the device you take, right? For example, if you take some suture is a one which we use it for the wound healing, right? That will come under low risk devices, where you will stitch. So the needle what we use it for stitching of the suture will come under low risk again. Okay, it is not life saving, but still you use it for treating, right? And next is a low moderate risk or suction equipments are those which is used to pull the fluid out. Some, for example, if you have a wound and if you have a fluid accumulation in it, then you will use the suction devices to pull the wound, pull the what is it, debris out of the wound. Then it comes under low moderate, again it is a treatment procedure. Also C and D, which I have explained this earlier, though those are life saving devices. Okay, so to come once again, so it is a profession developed from the desire of the government to protect the public health in the field of medical device, agrochemicals, pesticides, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. The professional has to control the safety and the efficacy of the product before it is being launched into the public, right? So what are the devices that does not comes under the medical devices? The first thing is anything that you use it to support the healthcare facility. Okay, for administrative support of healthcare facility, if you use something, then it will not come under a medical device. And the second device for encouraging a healthy lifestyle, like what you lifting devices, or what you use it in a gym, right? For healthy lifestyle, if you use, then it weight gain machine, yeah, as you see the symbol, weight gaining, weight checking machine, those will not comes under the category of medical devices. So our thing of interest or the regulatory affairs professional will never touch into this field, right? Next is to serve as electronic patient record. So electronic patient record is a software, again, which we use it to track the health record or the health history of the patient, and also it will aid the usability of the records of the patient, accessibility, and the transfer of the medical data, but still it will not come under medical devices. So, and also you one thing to note is that even a software is a medical device. Okay, it is called as medical software, that will also come under regulation. But this thing, like to serve as an electronic patient record, it will not come under the category of the patient record. Next, for transfer, storing, converting, and displaying data, any software you use for transferring of the data. For example, if an MR is taken, hope you know about MR, magnetic resonance imaging, where you use magnetic field and radio frequency field, and the protons, hydrogens in the body, which will which will precise, okay, depending upon the magnetic and the radio frequency field what you give. Usually they will transfer, might be if you have taken the MR, then you might have get familiarized with that. You will be taking the MR in one section, so say in underground. Usually MR will be in underground because of the good in order to get the good earthing facility. It will be transferred immediately to the doctor who is being sitting in the third floor, or who is being sitting in the some other building. Those data, those things are that will not again comes under medical device. Next, to provide certain or limited clinical decision support. And mostly you will we will do projects like taking an ultrasound and judging it whether you have a lesion. Lesion is nothing but an wound. It can be benign or a malignant lesion. Benign lesions are normal lesions which will not proliferate from one side or proliferate from one region to another region, while malignant or cancerous, which will proliferate when you touch or when you cut, or when the days progress or stages progress, it will proliferate. So usually we will do an analysis whether decision, okay, we will do a decision based upon the image what you get it in an ultrasound, CT, MR, PET, whatever it may be. We will just and check it, and then give a support, just a decision support to the doctor. Those will never come under the category of medical devices, right? Next thing to note is, what do you need to know if you want to become a regulatory affairs professional? Then you should be much more familiar with regulation and standards, okay, in these areas. Okay, I've listed some 9 areas you can see. You should be much familiar with good manufacturing practices, good laboratory practices, good clinical practices, good documentation practices, ISO standards, FDA, Food and Drug Administration, Environmental Protection Act, principle of regulatory compliance and inspection, drug establishments, and licensing. So these are the various regions where the regulatory affairs professional work. Today, our topic, or what I am going to cover is these about these two, with a few glimpses of this good manufacturing practices which, yeah, Malaysian government is following right from 2012. So regulations and standards related to ISO, and what does the FDA tells about the medical device regulatory affairs, and about this good manufacturing practices, when you should use ISO standards, when you should use this good manufacturing practices, right? So this is what we are going to see from the next slides. So once you are much familiar in these fields, like good manufacturing practices, or good laboratory practices, good clinical practices, or a good documentation, ISO, Environment Protection Act, then you will become familiar with all these steps necessary for product submission, assembling documents and statistical evidences, understanding the complexity of the product registration, negotiation, and follow up, linking the federal government with provincial government. So this steps necessary for product submission. So what does it mean? Steps necessary for product submission. For example, you are starting a startup, you are having a startup. Okay, say you are going to design a medical device, maybe a low risk, moderate risk, or a high risk, whatever it may be, okay, a defibrillator. Then you should follow certain norms in order to market your product, or product submission you call it as, okay, to launch the product. Okay, for that you have to go in hand with a regulatory affairs professional who will guide you in product submission. Okay, all this, they will follow some standards which will be which was given by FDA or the ISO, right? So next is assembling documents and statistical evidences. See, might be many technical people whom I have crossed, they will not be much and much more interested in documenting. Okay, they will just ignore the process of documentation, right? Might be that maybe it is not the region of, or not the area of interest for them. But the good thing the good thing of documenting is we can really track what is going to happen. Okay, though if we are not in the place who is coming in on behalf of us to the place, they will have a record of what is being happened previously, what you have to do it now, and what we have to do it at the later stage. Okay, documentation has to go in hand whenever you manufacture, or whenever you just act as a distributor, exporter, or importer, whatever it may be. Then who will help you in this is the regulatory affairs professional. So a regulatory affairs professional will know the steps necessary for the product submission, assembling of documents and statistical evidences, understanding the complexity of the product registration, negotiation, and follow-up. Okay. So complexity of product registration, negotiation, and follow-up, it is existing in all the country. It is not easy to get a medical device into a market as we launch some other product. Since it is touching on the patient, since it is having a very important role on the lifestyle of the patient, or a lifestyle of the human, or a life of the human, or the babies, or whomever it may be. It is some trick, it is much and much more trickier to implement or to launch a product, right? Even my friends who are working in the startup field or innovate startup field, they are struggling even for launching a single product. They are just having 4 years to launch a single product. Four max minimum, they are taking 4 years. If there are some people who are launching their product even within 1 year, how is that possible? Because of the process they follow. They know what is the thing they need to do before the product submission. They know what is the thing they need to do before the products before launching the product in terms of documentation or statistics. They will definitely work with the regulatory affairs professional, or they will themselves will have certified themselves will be certified with the regulatory affairs certification, right? Next is linking the federal government with the government. So this will come into if picture when you move the product to one country to the another country. Okay, and we have to follow all the norms that is being given by the federal government. For example, if you take European nations and another other nations, then they will have some standards. If you want to launch your product into their uh, nation, then you need to follow the standard, has to compile with the standards that they follow. So only now the FDA is now regularizing all the systems. So whatever the medical devices they are launching, it is coming into a picture such that everybody across the globe is going to use some country or some product what we develop do follow our US FDA rules are very stringent, very strict. So what the device they develop there, we are obviously using it here. But some loopholes are there in Indian market where some local medical devices, if we manufacture, we cannot go and have a market over there. So, in order to have a global wide market, then you need to have a stringent, strict regulatory affairs professional who will look after everything and make your product launch into the market. So, these are the familiarization you should know. And also, we should know about what are the rules that is being changed from time to time in order to launch the product, right? So the role of the regulatory professional. So the role of the regulatory professional is being categorized into five things. First is planning, next is tracking, next is advising, authorization, and launch. So these are the five roles that is being
Prof, your mic is off. Yes, it's all right. Uh, your mic is still off. Uh, there is no voice. I can't hear. I check from the settings and go to the audio. Prof. You go down to the settings, then go to audio, then check the mic if it's popping green when you talk. I can't hear. Right. If you go to settings and audio, you can talk and you see the small mic icon beside the mic input. When you talk, it pops green. So if it pops green, that means working. Ah, hello, everyone. We have some technical issues. Thank you, sir. I hope you guys wait. The prof, I think, will reconnect in any moment. Mm.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, now it's good.
Yeah,
Welcome back,
okay.
Doctor. Come back, bro. All right, now we continue.
Uh, I need to continue from the first slide or
No, from the slide that you stopped at.
yeah, thank you.
All right.
Okay. So the thing is planning, tracking, advising, and authorization launch. So this is the role of the regulatory professional. So in planning, what do they do? Making an important contribution to both commercial and scientific to the product success. Next is tracking, ever changing legislation in all regions of distribution. That's what I was telling you before. So in order to launch a product in the region, which region or which country you want to launch, then you have to go through or keep in track with all the legislation procedures that is existing in the country. Next is the advising is on legal and scientific restraints and requirements. So what is the thing that is required to launch the product? Next is authorization, presenting the registration documents to the regulatory agencies, and launch. Launch is the development of product marketing concepts. So the regulatory professionals are backbone of the medical device industry, I can say. So if you are much more technical, then the submission will not work. You have to go in hand with the regulatory affairs professional who will be really helpful. Okay, so this is again a blooming field. And also one thing important to note is that medical device, in the sense, regulatory professionals working in the medical device industry does not only work with the hardware or devices alone. They do work with the medical device software which is necessary for them. Okay, so for example, if you take an MR, the MR requires a background or a back end software that also comes under medical device. So it is called medical device software or medical software, right? Okay. So the regulatory affairs professional will come, and again they will be in two categories. Either they support for a hardware based medical device, or they support for a software based device. So you should not confuse that. In the third or previous slides we have told the software what we use it for professional assistant, or if what we use it for medical assistant. This is MR software is completely different, or ultrasound software which we use it in order to capture the image, design, or input the image from the hardware to the device. So all that again comes under medical devices. Okay, so, the medical device, in a sense, it is called medical software. Again, it requires regulatory profession or regulatory rules or regulatory standards to be followed in order to take it from one end to the another end. So this is what is the first thing. FDA in May 2018, FDA first proposed revising its current quality system regulation under the 21 CFR, this Code of Federal Regulation, Part 820, to more precisely align with the international ISO 13485-2016 standard as the basis of the quality system legislation. So this is the first year. In May 2018, FDA told it is mandatory to follow the standard of ISO 13485 to 2016, the version. Okay, 2016. Before that, it was ISO 9001. But many of the company which have manufactured the device before these, they have followed those ISO standard. But now, right from 2018, we are following ISO 13485 2016 standard, which is required in order to launch a product into the market. Okay, so there will be few differences, few additions, there are few futuristic approaches that has been included in ISO. Many categories were there in ISO 13485 standard in order to screw up the quality, in order to get more into the quality of the medical devices or the medical service that we are giving to the patient. So this is I've taken from the taken the screenshot from your government, Malaysian government. They have taken a very good initiative well before the FDA was telling. They have started following passed in 2012 the Medical Device Act 737 and the Medical Device Authority Act 2012 represent the first efforts made by the Malaysian government to implement the mandatory safety requirements for the medical device market in Malaysia. So under this regulation, they are just bringing all the medical devices category like manufacturer or distributor, exporter, and importer. So this change in the regulation has been given in the website. You can very well go and see the website. Next, you can see can see this ISO Medical Equipment General. So in the ISO Medical Equipment General, you can see many standards that is being given. One follow from ISO IEC guidelines, ISO 13485 guidelines, ISO 14971, 15223, and ISO 15378, 16412, and 6412 2017, 19244. All those will everything is related to the guide, everything is related to the medical field. But more particularly, when you see ISO 13485 2016, it is a quality management system which is required for launching the project or the product into the market, requirement for the regulatory purpose. Next is 14971 2016, it is an application risk management. Next is 15223 is very interesting, which will talk about the symbol to be used with the information to be supplied with the public. And next you can see 15378 again, which is coming into a different category. Might be we might not knowing it. Primary packaging materials that you should use in order to do it comes under pharma. As we have seen, the regulatory professional will work under pharmaceuticals, agrochemicals, medical devices, and some other pesticides like that. So primary packaging material, then the regulatory affairs personnel should know about ISO 15378 2017 standard in order to go in to know about the primary packaging materials that you need to use in order to pack the pharma. Next is ISO 16142. This is again a important thing where you need to know about the essential principles of safety and the performance of the medical devices that you need to know. And another thing is the guidance which is being which is being given by the ISO is the device for the administration, like catheters, the medicinal products. That is again ISO 19244. So we can there are a number of products that we see in the given thing that given by our regulation or Malaysian medical regulation, MMDR, okay, or MDR you can call, which is being passed in 2012. Very clearly it is being given what are the things that you should follow in order to get it into the market, or get the product into the market. So if you want to get into the medical device manufacturing, distributing, importing, or exporting, then you should follow these. Okay, you just stop, read these standards, and go ahead. Okay, for example, if you want to become a manufacturer, you want to if you want to give a design a device, manufacture the device in small scale or large scale, whatever it may be, the type and the size, the type, it has becomes class A, class B, class C, and class A. The size may vary. Okay, the size may vary from bulkier devices to small devices, minimally invasive, whatever the devices may be. Then it has to follow ISO 13485. This is the hero of regulatory affairs. Okay, whomever, if you want to involve in medical device manufacturing, then ISO 13485 is very important. Next, if you want to become an authorized representative of the product that is being manufactured from one country to another country, then you should know about the quality management system of good distribution practice of medical devices. And this good distribution practice of medical devices is being emphasized with Malaysian government for authorized representative, importers, distributor, for authorized representative from Indian market to Malaysian market, or from or from China market to the Malaysian market, from another market to the country, whoever entering into it as an authorized representative of the product from one country to the another country, then they should follow the quality management system of good distribution practice of medical devices. Importers then importers, then it is a good distribution practice of medical devices. Again, they should follow the quality management thing. And next is good distribution practice of practice of a good distribution practice of medical devices for the distributors. So these are the things that is very important to keep into mind if you want to be if you want to become a manufacturer or a distributor or an exporter or an importer. So please keep in mind these quality management system if you want to follow. Students who are in final year are doing ME final year, definitely you please go through these. It is all given in your Malaysian government website. Even I do will tell you the link where you will get all this. So you can see this is a flow chart that is to be followed if you want to become either a manufacturer or a distributor or an importer. So first you should confine whether you are going to establish a medical device, a deal with a medical device. It can be a software, it can be a hardware. So software is a thing which will not help in what to say planning the treatment, which will not assist in decision making, but the real software which helps in bringing the original data from the patient to the desk. Okay, it is what is the software. So it is does the establishment deals with the medical device. If your answer is yes, then you have to follow this process, right? What is your establishment type, whether you want to become a manufacturer or an authorized representative, distributor or an importer. So then you have to conduct a certified audit on the QMS based ISO 13485. That is what is we have seen in the previous slide. If you want to become a manufacturer, then it becomes then you should follow 13485. Or if you want to become a if you want to become an authorized distributor or an importer and exporter, then you have to conduct a CA or certified audit on QMS based on GDPMD. Okay, that is what is given here. Good distribution practice of medical devices. So once you have confined to the role, what you're going to do, then you have to appoint a CAB. CAB is nothing but a conformity assessment body where you will have professionals who will be assessing whether you have follow all the regulatory affairs, standards, and regulation that is being given by the government. Okay, once you comply with all requirement, then they will give a certification that you can apply for the license via this is one thing which is being given by the Malaysian government, specifically Medcast. Okay, so this is a website where you have to apply for the license. So you cannot simply go and apply for the license. So these are the for this thing this is this conduct a certified audit on QMS. This audit may differ depending upon the size of the company. There's the time duration taken by the audit, 1 or 2 days. They will take even half day. Suppose if you have a if you are a radiological equipment distributor like X-ray, MR, then they will take 2 days audit. If it is a hospital, if it is a something medical device is much trickier, defibrillator, then they may take a 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. It depends upon the auditor who is coming under CAP, that is conformity assessment body. Okay, so you have to just register this conformity assessment body in India. It is just a private concern. Okay, it is just a private concern, but in Malaysia might be I don't know, not much sure whether it is private over there or it is being given by the government itself. So here in India, where we use a CAB, they will have professionals who are just certified regulatory affairs. So even if you are a regulatory affairs professional, you may become a member of CAB in India. Right, so like they will check whether you all compile with the requirement, apply, then they will just certify that you can apply for the license in the license via this Medcast. So this CAB professional will not alone help you in certification, but they also help you in product testing. Okay, before launching of the product, then we will usually test the product for different temperature ranges, for different environmental condition, for different patients. They will also help in clearing all these ethical matters of testing with the patient, testing with the EMC testing we will do. So all these will be again regulatory affairs professional do. That is what we see it in the slide number 1 minute, slide number this thing: planning, advising, authorizing, tracking, and launching. So these things that this is what this the launch is the last one where I told you this launching of the product will be helped by CAB. The CAB will have a regulatory affairs professional, registered regulatory affairs professional, who will be helping in launching the product into the market, by getting them some license. So planning is what how to make the product launch, how they will help, right? Next is tracking, what is the legislation that need to follow. Next is advising on legal and scientific constraint. Next is authorization. So this is all being covered is in this one slide. Everything related to this, we need to have a regulatory affairs professional. So product testing and certification, both they will be helping. So you can see the thing. Suppose if you want to get a startup or a manufacturer as a startup company, then a distributor or importer, then you can see what are the necessary documents required. You can learn. It will hardly take 3 to 4 months, maximally 3 months to learn the thing with ISO 13 or ISO standards 13485 or 23 standards, MDR standards it will take. And the thing is, the next thing, you cannot go and work immediately. You can start working as an interns, and few companies are offering a regulatory affairs as interns. Okay, 1 or 2 months. If you get into 2 or 3 interns, definitely you will become a master. Okay. One important hint to the student is, if you are not much technical, okay, if you are not much technical, if you don't like getting into a technical field like signal processing, image processing, but you still want to be in a biomedical field, and if you have a good communication and good written ability to understand what is being written, then your perfect choice is to become a regulatory affairs professional. Okay. And apart from this, there are some standards which we are going to see: ISO 13485 medical device system, ISO 1 medical device quality management system. Next is ISO 14971 application of risk management to medical device, IEC 6234 medical device software system lifecycle process. This is what is important. This is for hardware. ISO 13485 IEC medical device software system life processor. IEC 62336 which is again medical device usability engineering. Okay, so these are the equally important standard which you should go through. And getting into this ISO 13485 2016, it is having some 5 important clauses. You can see these clauses. So quality management, management responsibility, resource management, product realization, measurement analysis and improvement. So these are the key requirements. You cannot just fail in all these key requirements. ISO 13485 key requirements, you have five. They are called as clauses. 5 clauses. It is a quality management system, management responsibility, resource management, product realization, measurement analysis, and improvement. So all these will have 4 to 5 subclauses. For example, if you take this quality management system, for example, if you take this management responsibility, if it is having a clause of 5, okay, then it will have a subclause of 5.1. Okay, it may be a quality manual. And for example, if it is a product realization, it comes under the clause of 7. Then it is a 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, and 7.5. 4 to 5 subclasses we will have. So you have to meet all the requirements of the subclasses too. Okay, so these are few subclasses I have listed: quality manual, medical device file, product procedure for training, records of designing and development, procedure for traceability, procedure for purchasing, outputs of product realization and planning, procedure of records. So these are the thing, some main subclasses I have given. But the thing why I have given this procedure of records in a centralized thing is, it is because that procedure of records is common for all the subclasses. You cannot neglect, as I told you before, you cannot just neglect this procedure of records for any of the classes. Documentation will go in hand by hand for the regulatory affairs professional. And one thing, if you are not interested in documenting, or if you are not interested to work with documents, then please do not choose this profession. Okay, definitely you should keep in track with all the things you have to do. Okay, because you serve as a backbone of the medical device software or the medical device hardware what you're going to launch, then you should have a track. Okay, next, procedure for traceability, procedure for purchasing. It will differ depending on the clause, and the procedure of records, procedure for collecting the feedback, procedure for analyzing the feedback, procedure for what are the companies you have approached in order to get the purchase orders. All those definitely needed to be recorded, and how you need and what is the format and how do you collect all these will be listed in here. Okay, I think I've come. Okay, all these things will be coming under the document, with the website what I have given in the previous slide, like this slide, MDA government document list guidance.html. You can go very well, see to the website and see. Why I'm talking about this link is that you are going to work with the Malaysian government. Okay, if you are going to confirmly work with the Malaysian government, you can go and see to it, right? Okay, so this ISO 13485 2016 standard comes under the sustainable development goal of 3 and 10. 3 is good health and well-being, and the 10 is reducing of inequalities. And this standard was last reviewed and confirmed in 2020. Okay, the latest version was 2020. So this specifies the requirement for the system as an organization need to demonstrate the ability to provide the device related service that consistently meet the customer and applicable regulatory requirements. So once you are being certified with ISO 13485, then you should submit for re-certification within 3 years. Okay, 3 years once you have to recertify the product. Okay, so why is this ISO 1385 important? Because it ensures the user to have a best practice throughout the steps of medical device life cycle. And the second thing is it really will cut the cost of making the equipment. Okay, if you follow a pakka procedure, definitely it will reduce the cost of manufacturing. And next, it serves as a regulatory and legal requirement of many countries. It enable us to offer a safe and more quality product. Okay, so these are the things that you can see to the slide. These are the things that are very important, that an ISO 13485 or 2016. So if you are certified with ISO 13485 2016, then you can definitely be a very good manufacturer across the globe, because many countries are following this. Okay, so recertification every 3 years. Suppose if you are not done 1 3, but you have already launched the product with ISO 9001, then you have to bridge the gap between this 13485 2016 and ISO 9001, and you have to what to say you have to submit the compliance. Okay, you have to call for the compliance, so that they will re-audit and give the certification. No issue in that. It doesn't mean that you have to come again from the first. You just fill the gap wherever whenever is required. There are many websites which tells you the difference between those two. What is the thing different in 13485 and 9001? Very suppose in 9001 itself you have followed a very good norms, very good procedures, then 13485 is not a matter for you. Okay, suppose if you have not followed any guidelines, then definitely it is like working from the scratch, right? Okay, so this is what we have seen. Next is this good device manufacturing practices specifies the requirements for a quality management system to be established, implemented, and maintained when in carrying out activities in medical device supply chain to comply with the Malaysian Medical Device Regulatory requirements as stipulated in Medical Device Act. Okay, so this is what so you can see. It is meant for distributors, it is meant for importers, it is meant for exporters. So it comes under the supply chain. Okay, it comes under supply chain, while that comes under manufacturing. So this what is an important of GDPMD. So this GDPMD, again, as you see in ISO, we call it as class, right? This GDPMD will have parts in the documents. Okay, this parts. So these parts that are Six parts: preliminary part, regulatory and compliance regulatory compliance systems. First part is preliminary part, second part is regulatory compliance system, third part is establishment of responsibility, fourth part is resource management, fifth part is supply chain device and specific, and sixth part is surveillance and vigilance. So these are the important parts, the parts of GDPMD, which you should know if you want to become an authorized personnel, for an distributor, importer, or an exporter. So, as we have seen the benefits of ISO, these are the five benefits of ISO 13485. We do have benefits. Why do you need to follow GDPMD? So, saving in cost, again, meet regulatory requirements and customer requirements, regulatory requirements and customer expectation, consistency to proper storage of documents. Next is demonstrate the ability to produce safe devices and improve the operation of efficiency throughout through the improvement process that you follow during manufacturing or during registration or during designing of the product, whatever it may be. So just GDPMD, it is completely insisted by the Malaysian government in order to store, sorry, in order to sell the product from other country to the Indian, to the Malaysian. Otherwise, suppose if I am from India and if I do not follow GDPMD, then definitely I cannot be an authorized distributor or a seller of the product what I have designed here. Okay, so it is not a big deal. It is just an ethics that being given in order to follow, in order to move from one part to another part. Okay, so this is what is the learnings, very good things, learnings you can find it from here. So general wellness policy of for low risk device guidance for industry and food and drug administration staffs. So this is one link where your one document where you can see general wellness is one document where you can see many things, important things related to FDA. What does an FDA tell about medical device regulations and FDA quality system regulations? And this you can see it is for low risk devices very particularly. It is understandable. If you are a startup, if you are a starter in this field, then you just start from this, reading this. Okay, low policy for low risk devices. Okay, since it comes under class A, low risk devices, it will be very simple to understand. Usually when it becomes high risk, the procedure will also be somewhat trickier. Okay, because it will contain many and many component, many and many individual things to be addressed. 10 components follow one equipment, but if you take a low risk, it is just one component. So for all those 10 component, you have to follow the standards and the regulations. Okay, next is FDA quality system regulation. It's a complete guide where you can see. Next is a above book of ISO was, which is being ISO 13485 2016, which is being given, printed by CRC Press, will give you a complete guide, okay, of quality management in the medical device industry. This is again a very good for a beginner. So if you're not interested, for example, if you're a computer science or an IT student looking care of medical signal or medical image processing, then and if you want to get into medical device industry as a regulatory professional, then the very good course where it is a certified course by Coursera, where it is introduction to medical software, okay, given by Yale University. It is a certified course where you can, I think it is a 13-week course. You have to do take up the assignments, nothing much trickier. Many professionals are talking here and there to get into what they are doing in the industry. Very good course. You can just go and have this, take up this course if you are an IT or a computer science student getting into a medical field. um, so this is what important thing, and you have to go and see the websites of Ministry of Health. Are frequently have the habit of reading what is being given by the Ministry of Health, depending on the medical, what is the current scenario or what is the current strategy strand they are taking on the medical device software and the medical device hardware. All right. So thank you, thank you for the opportunity.
All
Um,
right. All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, Prof. And we have come to the end of our webinar session today. And thank you very much, Prof. Ragi
Thank
Zohari,
you.
for sharing with us this interesting topic. And
Thank
on behalf of Master University and IET Student Association, thank you, and to all our audience for finding the time and visiting our today's webinar session. Hopefully, the webinar session was beneficial for all of us, and see you on the next webinar session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you, Olive.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.